In this video, we're going to talk about what you can do to make sure that your ex doesn't take you for granted and always tries to pursue you and to, get back together with you. This is going to be a little bit of an advanced video. So please, if you need to check out some more basic stuff, do that first. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. We're going to be talking about how to make sure that your ex fights for you and won't take you for granted. Very first thing you want to do is make sure that you're always doing something in life, that you're, leveling up, that you're going out and doing interesting things. Not just superficial things like hitting the gym or losing weight or something. Sure, if you want to hit the gym or lose weight and that's what's important for you, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Don't just pick random arbitrary things just because you heard it on the internet, right? The most important thing is that you're living into your values, you're being the person that you want to be, and you're going somewhere in life. That's the one universal common trait that attractive people have, is that they're going somewhere in life, they're doing interesting things, and they're really pursuing what's important for them. Of course, what's important for you is going to be what's different from what's important to me or what's important to someone else. But chances are you and your ex share some values, otherwise you would have never been in a relationship to begin with. So as you're living into your values, that's where they're going to be able to see that and understand, like, okay, this is someone who's going somewhere. This is someone who's doing something. This is someone who's out there living life to the fullest. And whatever that means for you, whatever that means for them, right? Because again, we're all going to be different. Like, what's interesting to me is maybe traveling and seeing the world, as well as also exploring, the inner world as well too. Maybe that's not it for you. Maybe you're more interested in just kind of like settling down and setting down some roots in some local place and just being like really embedded in your community. Okay, so that's the important first step, the main underlying thing through all of this. Now the next part, and this is where this gets into the advanced stuff, is there's two important things that you got to do here. A bit of a backdrop. Your ex probably has some sort of negative vision of you, negative version of you in their mind that they have created in order to justify breaking up. Nobody wants to break up with someone else. Nobody wants to end a relationship. Nobody wants to make someone else cry or take away their dream of being in a relationship or being married or anything like that. Oftentimes the idea of breaking up with someone makes someone feel guilty. Why am I hurting this person? Why am I making them cry? Why am I doing these things that could cause them to feel sad or bad? What you want to do is recognize that they're probably holding on to this negative image of you. Maybe this negative image of you was maybe it's fairly accurate. Maybe you didn't do some great things before. Maybe you lied. Maybe you cheated. Maybe you stole. Whatever, right? In which case, okay, fine. Maybe they didn't have to stretch that far. But on the other hand, maybe they did have to stretch far. Maybe you told one white lie and now suddenly they're saying, you're someone I can't trust. In which case, okay, they're holding on to this negative version of you in their mind that they're using to justify the breakup so they don't have to think of themselves as someone who, does things like hurt someone. Because, hey, you deserve this breakup. That's what they're telling themselves. And so what you want to do is, number one, you want to show up as someone who is trying to do the right thing, someone who is embodying all the right things, someone who is embodying, authenticity, honesty, taking responsibility for things, integrity, all that sort of stuff. Not in like a, hey, I'm compensating. Oops, you caught me cheating. I swear to you, I'm going to tell you the truth this time. I swear I'm going to be loyal to you this time. Not anything like that, but just as someone who's doing the right thing. Because if you fuel this negative side of them, this negative version of you that they have in their mind, it's just going to make it more and more difficult for you to actually get them to want to fight for you and to stop taking you for granted. What's going to help is if you just show up as a mature adult human being here, okay? So if they try to fight, be compassionate, be graceful. If they try to blame you for something, don't get defensive. Listen, have empathy. If they don't respond to you, don't freak out. Don't accuse them of things, but simply just understand that maybe they're busy, maybe they have torn emotions about you, maybe they have mixed feelings, all that sort of stuff. And the more that you can do this, the more you're going to be a mature, grown-up adult, and you're going to embody the right things, okay? And then the opposite side of this coin, this is part 2 of all of this, is that you really want to let them have the gift of taking responsibility for when things don't go the way that that maybe you or they would want. So give them the gift of having responsibility. That is to say, if the two of you had a poor interaction, rather than making some sort of nasty comment to them and then storming off, just sort of graciously say, hey, you're not really in a great mood right now. It seems like this is really frustrating for you. Maybe we should just take a break and not talk for a little bit. Is that something that you want? And that way they have the gift of having responsibility for this. They have the gift of whenever they have doubts, of whenever they don't know if they made the right choice or not. They have the gift of being able to sit with themselves, sit with what they know is true, and say, okay, the reason we're not talking right now is because I said I wanted some space. It's because I didn't respond to you. It's because I made this angry comment. It's because I did something. And when they have that responsibility, knowing that because of their choices, their inaction, their pettiness, their whatever, then they have to confront that identity again. They have to confront that identity. Remember, they made this negative identity of you because they didn't want to feel bad. They didn't want to look at you and say, look, here's someone that I hurt. I hurt them by breaking up. They wanted to say, I had no choice to do this because this was someone worth breaking up with. And if that identity of them as a good person is then brought into doubt, and they have to say, okay, like the reason that we're not talking is because I was too petty. They made an honest attempt to reach out, do a mature, emotional adult sort of thing. I just wasn't willing to step up to the plate. Like that's something that they have to carry with them. And many times that sort of thing will cause them to shape up. It'll cause them to have maybe a big perspective and say, okay, when I hit my deathbed at the end of my life and I look back at my relationships, do I want to know that I didn't talk to you anymore because I wasn't able to get past my own feelings? I wasn't able to forgive. I wasn't able to do the right thing and give someone another chance, or whatever the case might be. That's what you got to do. This, of course, is going to take some work. This, of course, is going to take some work and some effort to really embody these right things, to embody the right way of being that's going to allow you to keep your calm in these moments of tension. This is going to require some work to get you to embody peace when everything is raging at you, to fight back or to prove them wrong or something like that. This is going to require a lot, at least if you're like most people out there. If you want to get a little bit of extra help with this, please go ahead and check out our Facebook group called Embodied Love. Okay, it's totally free to join. I post videos, walk and talk videos, where I just kind of go through just some embodiment stuff, some ways that we can go ahead and work on really leveling ourselves up and embodying the kind of relationship that we want, embodying the kind of emotions that we want to experience, and do that in an effective way that allows us to get the kind of relationship that we want, the kind of outcomes that we want, rather than just reacting to things that are happening outside, rather than just reacting to what's going on. So if you want to take on a proactive stance, this is the right Facebook group for you. If you just want to react, then this probably isn't the right Facebook group for you. But yeah, anyway, you can find that in the link down in the description box below. But it's called Embodied Love by Modern Love. Go ahead and just join, as long as you're not going to spam it or anything like that. As long as you're willing to be cool and supportive, then you should fit right in. Anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you later.